During the beginning of 2021, an American author and investment analyst predicted that the stock market will crash and burn by the second half of the year. Here is the video of this person.
In financial assets, stocks, real estate, bonds, that sort of stuff. Normally that would be 2 times GDP, maybe 2.5 in a normal boom.
Yeah.
Debts at 253 trillion. That's off the charts, over 3 times global GDP. But normally that'd be 1.5. So they use this financial asset bubble to offset the debt deleveraging and the debt bubble bursting. And now we have a bigger monster. And I am predicting within weeks or months, the central bank's just going to lose control of it. It's just going to burst. If you notice, and this is the reason for my prediction here that we're going to see a 40% plus crash in just the next few months. Every correction since the January 2018 top, that was when the real bubble started to top. And then we get all this seesaw backing up. We get a crash, we get a new high, and then every time we've got a crash to new lows, which means the market is trying to go down. We've peaked, and the next new low would project 2,100 on the S&P 500. That would be 45% from the recent top. That would mean the tech stocks would go down even more, maybe 50%. So I think the next crash, what people finally see is the central banks keep pumping up the economy against these downtrends, creating this monster bubble that keeps wanting to burst and deleverage along with the debt, and it's a losing battle. And when people say, well, don't print another, I'm sorry, don't bother to print another 10 trillion this time. This thing's over. They lose control, and that's just going to be the first crash, and we'll end up by late 2022 or early 2023. Back down, 80 to 90% to basically erase this entire crazy bubble. Now remember, greatest bubble in history has occurred from 2009 into 2021 with the weakest recovery in history. Is the biggest disconnect between stocks and financial assets and the real economy. And guess which one wins? The financial assets and the stocks have to come down to reality. Hundreds of trillions, Daniela. At least 200 trillion minimum of this 520 is going to disappear in the next 2 to 3 years. And that does not cause a recession. That causes a depression.
Wow. Okay.
Now, that is Harry Dent making such prediction. I have followed Harry Dent on his social media, most especially on YouTube, and all on his interviews on different stations. And when I saw this and when I watched this video by Harry Dent, I absolutely got scared, because I followed Harry Dent in various aspects of his investment interviews and predictions and so on and so forth. So when I watched this video, I searched for many more videos about the crash of the stock market during the time, which is, as I recall now, it was truly quite an idiotic thing for me to do. Of course, well, looking back, it is an absolutely idiotic thing, but nevertheless, I watched many videos saying that the doom and gloom of the stock market and the economic situation of the world will end as we know it today. And quite obviously, the stock market didn't crash. Now, the bad thing is that because I was a fan of Harry Dent during the time, I got scared and I liquidated some of my securities. And that was one of the worst decisions I have ever made on my investments this year, liquidating my securities. This was first quarter of the year 2021, because the whole year of 2021 had an absolutely great bull run, and I missed that bull run because I listened and I got scared of this prediction on the end and the doom and gloom of the world. This is a really bad mistake on my part, and this is absolutely a lesson I learned and something that I wanted to share with you. When people make predictions about the stock market, you will have to run away from this person, because according to Warren Buffett, and really according to history, nobody was ever successful in predicting the stock market situation. Now, here is a video by Warren Buffett about his thoughts on the stock market predictions.
We do not find bargains in this market among the larger companies that are our universe. That is not a stock market forecast in any way, shape, or form. We have no idea whether the market's going to go up today or next week or next month or next year. We do know that we will only buy things that we think make sense in terms of the value that we receive for Berkshire. And when we can't find things, the money piles up. And when we do find things, we pile in. But the stock market, I know of no one that has been successful at, and really made a lot of money predicting the actions of the market itself. I know a lot of people who have done well picking businesses and buying them at sensible prices. And that's what we're hoping to do. Charlie?
So there, Warren Buffett says that he does know people who are more successful in picking stocks than people who are successful in predicting the market. He does not know people or any person who had been successful in predicting the market, but he does know people who had been successful in picking stocks. But then the thing is, there's a caveat here. When he says or he mentions picking stocks, that does not necessarily mean that a person would just go and pick and choose any stock. Picking stocks means understanding the company, reading the financials of the company, understanding the future plans of the company, understanding the debt of the company, and truly believing and having the faith in the products and services of that company. That is the absolute correct way of the definition of picking stocks. So the point that I wanted to drive at is that instead of wasting your time in watching videos or people who predict the stock market crash, we instead should value our time and spend our time reading financials of the company, reading the company's plans for the future, understanding the management discussions and analysis, the 10K reports of the company, and truly evaluate how much is the company worth for. And understand for yourself if you're willing to buy the company or not, if you're willing to own a piece of that company or not. That is a better way to truly spend our time rather than watching all these videos and all these interviews predicting the doom and gloom and the end of the world as we know it today. Those are absolutely waste of time. I made such a mistake. It is not sexy to admit that I made such a mistake, but I did, and I am certainly admitting that it was a mistake. It will never happen again. If I ever hear somebody make a prediction on the doom and gloom of the stock market, there is no way I will ever finish such a show or such an interview. I will just move on and continue with valuing certain companies. Do not ever waste your time watching people making prediction with no basis at all. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you gained value in this video. If you want more information and savvy tips about investing and saving, check out my website, which I will link in the description box. I certainly hope to see you on my next video. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and I hope you have a great day.